Good morning, everyone. This is Cynthia with your daily tarot card of the day. Thank you so much for being here and for joining me. I appreciate you greatly. I'm going to take a moment to tune into the collective energies and tune into spirit. And I invite you to do the same. Take a couple of deep breaths to relax, tune into your own intuition, your inner guidance, your higher self, your spirit guides, so that whatever card comes up, you might actually receive your own personal message or inspiration that comes through. The messages that I provide are timeless messages, so whenever you happen to find this reading and you're inspired to watch, there could be something here for you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. That being said, also, the messages that I deliver are general and they're for the collective about the energy of the day. So, it could resonate very strongly. Some specific messages can kind of leak through, general enough that they might apply to several people, specific enough that you would know that it's your reading, or that there's a confirmation. In another sense, just open general energy of the day. And I want to thank you again for being here with me. I appreciate you so much. Spirit. Really? Okay. Spirit said don't cut the deck, so I'm not going to cut the deck. We've got the Three of Pentacles today. The Three of Pentacles. Possibly some kind of a opportunity for a contract for specific work to be done. Whether that's you finding the right person to do a job and hiring them, or, like for instance, if there were a project going on around your house or your residence or something like that, or even in your business for that matter. So there's a small collective energy. There seems to be an agreement or a contractual agreement between people. On another level, this could also be soul contracts, karmic agreements and alliances that we have with specific people. There could be something here about either a completion or meeting new people. So if you meet someone and they kind of strike you as okay, this seems significant, but I'm not sure in exactly what way. There could be something on a soul level there to it that doesn't have to change the nature of the relationship or the roles that you would play, and it doesn't mean that something's going to happen immediately, especially if you just were introduced to this person, or met this person and ran into them or something of that nature. It could be something that it builds over time, but if you get this inkling of, well, I don't know them, and yes, first impressions are important, but there seems to be a draw here, but I'm not really sure. Don't brush it off. Just be open to how is this interaction going to be significant for the coming time. In another sense, this could be you having an opportunity to work with others, some kind of agreement, or work on a special project. And again, this could be something special to do with family or community or at work. But it almost seems like you, and I want to say like a very small group of people for this one specific thing, right? So for example, this is just an example, but if there were like a community event and you volunteered with a particular organization, you could be with like, 2 or 3 other people working on a specific aspect of this whole thing. So even though it might be for a larger group or a larger audience or part of a larger organization, it's like for something specific that's coming up, it could be you and a small group of people. If it were like a family reunion or something like that, it could be like, you and 1 or 2 other people in charge of like this part of, the event, invitations, or I don't know, different things that might be needed, right? So I feel like there's this opportunity to be a part. We're working with a small group of people, but to be a part of something greater. So there could be an opportunity for you that comes up in today's energy. And likewise, I mean, if say it were a work thing or a community thing, again, the opportunity to meet new people who might have some kind of significance either for this specific project or agreement, or it could end up being something deeper. You might think that you're just working with them on this one project and that's well enough and blah, 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 blah. But over the course of, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months of working with this person for this specific thing, you might actually find that you click really well with them. So there could be, again, like I said earlier, opportunity for new relationships that could bring someone significant into your life. Or again, the very first thing that came up, just to reiterate, was the fact that you could be entering, like if you were looking for someone to do something for you, either for your business or for your home, you're looking for an outside professional, you had a project or work that needed to be done, and you were calling someone in. This is the opportunity. Today might be a good day to go looking around or interviewing or calling up places or sending out emails in order to find that person, because I feel like today's energy is good for encountering the significant people who can help make a difference and influence in our lives, especially if it comes to a specific project or contract or agreement that needs to be made between parties, so to speak. So today's energy all around really good for working with others in whatever aspect that might be. It could even be, getting, let's say if you have family or kids or roommates or anything like that, it could be getting everybody together to work on a specific project, whether you're planning a vacation or whether you have work to do around your residence, either indoors or outdoors, something like that. It could be like everybody working together. There's a teamwork aspect that's coming through strongly. So no matter how this manifests in your life and in your experience, there's some kind of a teamwork aspect that comes up. And, the idea that it's significant doesn't even mean that it has to be super meaningful or powerful, some particular level between the two of you. It's not the agreement or the contract itself. You know what's the important thing? Thank you, Spirit. This is a beautiful message. The important thing in all of these agreements and relationships and interactions and contracts and teamwork and all of that stuff, it's how are we relating? And that's the whole point of even a karmic soul contract or some kind of soul agreement that you make with another person's soul. The significance is in how we open up to and how we interact with and how we relate to one another. It's not even, because the lesson is always in the meat of it. The lesson isn't in the ingredients that we throw into it and what temperature we simmer the pot on. The message, the lesson, the real crux of the agreements that we make as souls with people and the experiences that we have is in how we show up and how we respond to what goes on around us. And so I feel like today's the opportunity for teamwork, partnership, agreements, coming together with people. Pentacles, it's not just coming together for celebration or sharing a fun experience or hanging out with friends. The Pentacles indicates something that's to be worked on. That indicates something, physical, manifest, or, building, that kind of a thing. That requires some kind of a skill, a skill set or a knowledge base of some sort. And again, there's that teamwork aspect that keeps coming up. And there's some kind of an agreement. You do this, I'll do that kind of a thing going on, right? And so what I'm getting here is, how are you going to approach this agreement? Where's your integrity? How are you going to relate to the other person? Are you open? Are you observant? Are you willing to receive? Are you also willing to give? Are you willing to balance the give and take that goes on, right? So I feel like that's the important thing. So any of these interactions, no matter how small or how big, no matter how obvious or how subtle, it seems like the crux of the whole thing, the significance, isn't so much in that other person or the relationship that you have with them, the roles that you play in that relationship. It's how we actually are open to learning from one another, sharing with one another, and how you yourself as an individual in your own authenticity and integrity are going to show up to this agreement and with this other person. So that seems to be very poignant. It seems to be, wonderful. And I certainly wish you much blessings, peace and blessings in all of your interactions today. I certainly hope that the opportunities and the right people and the right relationships and the right situations and experiences actually come your way. And most importantly, that you are feeling grounded, centered, open, and kind of anticipating, gee, who's going to show up, or what are we going to be doing, or, this needs to be done. I hate calling around for that, but you know what? I'm going to stand in a place of, assurance that I know this needs to be done and the right person is out there. And so I'm going to start calling because I know I'm going to run down that list and find the right person. And, trusting your gut instinct when you do find that person, that you are going to know it. Oh, where's that glare coming from? There we go. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for being here. I wish you peace and blessings. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.